Doug Bruce. I own Tabor Bruce Architects. My parents owned the Betty Jean Shop. It was in there was a sad state of affairs for the square then. I was obviously younger, not an architect then. I was my middle school and high school days. But you only went downtown on Friday or Saturday nights to drive your car around. You know, more shuttered storefronts and dirty storefronts where you could write your finger in dust, wash me on the window because it was so empty.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much competition, and the store had such a reputation. But it was still a struggle because there were so many other empty storefronts. But there was plenty of parking.
Yeah, I bet there was.
I don't think it was as much the Grand Plaza, because while that was a building that needed a lot of work and certainly would have been sad to see demolition by neglect, I think it was that at one point people were discussing about tearing the courthouse down. And when they were going to tear the courthouse down and put a parking garage up, because by gosh, we needed more parking downtown. I think it brought together a bunch of people in Bloomington who realized that there was an enthusiasm for our downtown because people got together to fight tearing the courthouse down. CFC did Grand Plaza, and then CFC did the Fountain Square Mall, which came later. But I think that enthusiasm that came out of saving the courthouse is a big part of where people then started putting money downtown. It gave us a set of guidelines that we could not only look at examples of where they succeeded, but it gave us it laid out a flow chart on what we could do to get from point A to point B. And DBI came out of that. As I mentioned to you earlier, my dad was one of the first members of that group, and Mr. Huddleston, who had Bynum Office Supply at that time, and one of their first tasks was that they hired a director. Again, following Main Street, and that director was Talisha Kopic, and she's still that director. But it really shows the stability that we've had, and that has been another key part because we've had the stability that a lot of other Main Street organizations have not had, and that's been the strength of DBI. Main Street gave us the guidelines to figure out what we were, what we weren't, what we wanted to be. Main Street gave us a way to find consensus in some form to develop a plan, and then that plan became something that we could check. And then we finally looked at it and said, okay, let's open the plan up again. It was like a time capsule. What did the plan want? What did the plan say? And, we weren't going to hit all of it, but we hit enough that we saved our downtown from complete despair.
Yeah.